Kate got back from work earlier than usual because she was sick. She took permission from her boss to leave before the close of work, so she would be able to buy medicine from the pharmacy close to her house before they would close for the day. She lazily got down from her car, opened the front door to her house, went straight to the kitchen to get water she would use to take her medicine. When she was about putting the medicine into her mouth, she heard a woman's giggle. She stayed still to make sure the sound was not coming from her house. She heard the giggle again, and this time it was coming from a room upstairs. She took a knife for the fence in case there was a thief inside the house. When she got upstairs, she started checking the rooms one by one before she got to the one she shared with her husband. The giggle sounds were coming from her room. How come? She was about entering to check who was inside the room before she heard her husband's voice. "Just give me time. I'll divorce that barren woman. I don't want people to think I'm a wicked man that chased his wife out of his house and married her sister. I'm just waiting for her to fall into my trap. By then, I'll throw her out without remorse." Baby, be fast about it before people start noticing I'm pregnant. When Kate heard this, she went into shock and her legs could no longer hold the weight of her body. She fell on the floor, hitting the door by mistake. Her husband and sister jumped out of the bed they were laying on and started trying to cover their naked bodies with a duvet on the bed. Her husband knelt down close to her and started begging her, while her sister stood on one corner of the room with a devious smile plastered on her face. It's been 2 months since Kate caught her husband Mark cheating on her with her sister Judy. Her and her husband Mark are now divorced, and it didn't take long for Judy to move in with Mark. They lived happily and took any opportunity they got to rub it on Kate's face. Their parents were not in support of their marriage and thought what they did to Kate was very bad. But they had to allow the both of them get married because Judy was already pregnant for Mark. Kate was so devastated. She buried herself in work so as to prevent herself from becoming depressed. One day, her car broke down by the roadside on her way back from work. She was so tired and felt very dizzy. She started dialing her mechanic's number, but he wasn't picking up. She got down from her car and opened the bonnet to see what was wrong with the car, but fainted in the process. When she woke up, she realized she was in the hospital and a very handsome guy was sitting beside her. He explained to her that she fainted due to exhaustion and he found her lying beside her car on the road. She thanked him for taking her to the hospital and they got along. After a few months, they started dating. Michael, who is now Kate's boyfriend, invited her to his cousin's housewarming party. When they got there, she met Judy and Mark. They both walked up to her and Judy didn't fail to act all loved up with Mark in front of her. Michael walked up to them and kissed Kate, which infuriated Mark. "How dare you kiss my wife?" Mark shouted with anger. "Who is your wife? It seems you are forgetting we are divorced," she responded. "Babe, who is this madman?" Michael asked. "He's nobody, let's go home. I can't stay here any longer." And with that, Kate and Michael left. Judy wasn't happy that Kate found a boyfriend so quickly. She started stalking Michael after she found out that he was very rich. She even went as far as going to his office to seduce him, in which he turned her down. Kate got very angry after she learned of what Judy was doing, so she went to Judy's house to confront her. Kate knocked on the door, and when Judy opened the door, she blasted at her. "How dare you go to my boyfriend's office to seduce him? Are you this heartless? As if sleeping with my husband in my matrimonial bed is not enough for you. What do you want from me?" "I want everything you have. You're beautiful. You've always been mom and dad's favorite child. You're the one with the brains. You even married a rich man, and now you have a very handsome guy. You're very Very selfish, oh. I always got compared to you anywhere I go, Judy replied with teary eyes. Kate couldn't believe what Judy just said. She has always tried her best to be the best elder sister to Judy by always supporting her, but it wasn't enough for Judy. Kate left their house in disbelief. Unluckily for Judy, Mark heard everything. He got really angry, took his car key and drove off, in which he got into a minor accident. He learned from the doctor in the hospital that he has always been impotent. When he got home, he threw Judy out of his house. How dare she want to pin another man's child on me? He immediately went to Kate's residence to beg her to come home with him, in which she refused. So, he tried using force on her, but unluckily for him, Michael was around and beat him up that he landed in the hospital. A year later, Michael and Kate got married and had 4 children.